Alright everyone, welcome back to another episode of Ocean Outlast Expert. Hope everyone is doing great today. I know that I am. We're jumping right back on into things. And first and foremost, there was an update to the mod pack. So before we go too far into things, I'm going to run through the changelog a little bit. Now, as per normal, I'm going to run through a few things that stood out to me. If you do want the full changelog, if you are running the pack yourself, you can see the changelog through whatever launcher you are using. If you aren't, or if you don't want to go through that path, you can always check out their website or their Discord. I believe they have it posted over there as well. I have their website, the Ocean Outlast Modpack website, linked in the description down below, so you can always go there and try to look around for it. But like I said, I'm going to go over a few details here, so let me pull over my list here so that we can run through some stuff. So there was a bunch of stuff that was added. There was a decent amount of stuff that was removed, some new quests, and so on and so forth. First, I do want to call out that they started adding membership callouts into the changelog updates here. So actually, you know what? Before we go farther, let me move away from our greenhouse here, because it's going to be extremely loud as it is crafting stuff, or it's farming stuff, I should say. But yeah, if you do become a member of the Ocean Outlast community, I think there's some kind of monetary value behind it, if I'm not mistaken. Just to be 100% transparent with you all watching, they have called out the memberships here in the changelog, which is kind of cool. So moving into the actual items that were added or removed, so they added in a couple new mods, including waystones, which is awesome. I had been talking about that for a little while there, so thank you, Kevin, for adding that in. They added in Ender.io Endergy, I think I pronounced it right. Which is pretty cool. They also added in Chocolate Quest Reproud. They added an extra bit manipulation, an AI reducer, a few other ones as well, but those were like kind of the big names that stood out that typically sound a little familiar to most people. They did remove a few things, so they did remove the lag goggles. They also removed the fast workbench along with the tick central. They did add in a bunch of new quests, which I'll show you guys once we hop into it, but a few of the things to call out around this are new chapters, which are the ones that we actually see on our left-hand side there. So they added a new quest chapter for PSI, extra utilities, and security craft, which is awesome, because we've obviously done a few episodes around PSI, but now there's a dedicated progression to it, so it'll kind of make my episodes seem a little weird, now that you can actually follow the quest lines for it. And also extra utilities, we use it a lot, so it's cool to have it in there. Then they did add some quests for additional things like waystones, because now it's added in. They did do some other changes as well. So they changed the Genesis Spectre coil recipe. They added recipes to the Creative Quibbit cluster, recipe for Creative Computer case, a few other things here or there, adjusted EMC values. Again, if you do want to get the in-depth thing, definitely check out the full listing over on their website. Now, finally, there was a bunch of mods that were upgraded. Just to run through a few of them, though. Treasure 2, Bewitchment, Ender.io, Mystical World, Mutant Beasts, Fish's Undead Rising, and I think that's pretty much a good of them. And Roots. There's a couple other ones as well, but those were like the bulk of them. So I should also mention that this is now version 53 that you should be running on. Actually, it might be 53.1. There was a hotfix to remove a mod as well. So with that being said, as you can see, we have a lot of stuff that has been completed in our quest line here, or in our quest area. Now, some of these are updated rewards for things we've already done. So we'll go through that. But first, I'll run through the new chapters around the different things. So first and foremost, we have PSI, which is cool. There's a whole progression around it. Now, the first one that you have to do is just a manual tick, and then obviously you can read through it yourself. We're going to tick it off, just like so. And then what we could do at some point in time is kind of go through and gather all this stuff. That is the unfortunate thing. If you've already done all this stuff, you'll have to re-pick it up to actually complete the quests. But I think it would ultimately be worth it, because you do get a decent amount of rewards for it. And you can't, some of these are manual clicks, but you can't do it until you actually get to that point in time, which is kind of cool. This is actually interesting. You get 25,000 or 2,500 coins for just doing that, but then you get up to this, you get 500 for that, you get 3,000 for that, but getting to level 10, you only get 10 coins. That's kind of interesting. I think it's kind of funny though. But anyway, so that's the PSI. Security craft got a whole chapter on its own as well. We haven't dove into security craft, but as you can see, it definitely will help you out if you're interested in diving into this space. And then finally, extra utilities has a whole space for itself. And again, we've done a decent amount of this stuff, so we'll have to pick up those items and then get to the ultimate quest reward for it. There also is some additional information around grid power, which is pretty cool. So if you're starting to get into this mod and you're not really sure on how grid power works, it's a great way to do it. I might actually dedicate an episode to just going through grid power so people can understand it, because when I ultimately went through it, I just kind of got things set up. I didn't really explain it, so it might be useful to some of you out there to see how that works. But anyway, let's go through some of these and collect our rewards. So we got a dragon trainer chest because we killed the ender dragon, or we got a dragon egg, I should say. For our occupation, we did kill a guardian. I think I did that before. That's just been lingering there. Actually, additions, we did get the greenhouse glass, so we'll get the reward from that. In Britannia, as you can see, there's a whole slew of things that had been added in as rewards. Basically, sorcerer crates, it seems like, which I'm going to assume that these crates are then related to, like, Britannia and things like that. Because it seems like Kevin is the main guy developing the pack, and he has been adding in different crates based on the different kind of sections of the game. So we already had a cyberware crate or something along those lines, which added in items you could get from certain more techie areas of the mod pack. So, and it looks like these sorcerer crates relate also to Thaumcraft as well as Britannia there. You get some moolah. I think I just didn't collect that in the last one. Then that's about it. And then there's extended crafting, which is actually what we're getting into today. But let's open up these and see what we get. So we got dragon scales. Okay. We got an arrow of harming. Go with this farmer's one. Wild wood bark. Holy smokes. We just... I don't know what happened there, but it just kind of set off a whole cluster of quest progression there. Now that is over on the normal Minecraft ones over here. And this, I don't know what it was for exactly. I wish I could like automatically go to it, but unfortunately I can't. That's fine. We do have a sunk crate. We get calamari. And then we have 9 of these sorcerer crates. Holy smokes. Okay, just a few of them to go through. So, and I will stick that away as well. So we got Crimson Rights. I think that's from Thaumcraft maybe. Silverwood sapling, a minor rod notch, that's PSI right there. Endo flame, which is from Britannia. A pestle and mortar, which is from Britannia. Enchanted fabric, I think that's from Britannia, or that might be Thaumcraft. Rune of air is definitely Britannia. Floral fertilizers, Britannia, and then another endo flame. Actually, a great source for getting endo flames. What is this from? Oh, Thaumcraft. It is from Thaumcraft, so I was correct on that thinking. Now we're just going to stick a lot of this stuff away because we don't really need it right now. I will get those endo flames planted down at some point, and then this Crimson Rights is from Thaumcraft as well. But oh, unfortunately, might be out of storage over on our over in our little storage area here. We might be out, unfortunately, which is a problem I've been running into. Is we've been running out of storage relatively quickly because I do have a catch-all for things that don't have a designated place. I have 3 chests down here that kind of catch everything else, and they've filled up really, really quickly with stuff. It's kind of crazy how quickly they kind of backlog with items that don't have a designated place to it, or doesn't really stack. I mean, we got a lot of armor in here, a lot of potions, like things that just don't really have a good respective home for them, which is a little bit unfortunate. We really should probably like clean some of this stuff out and get rid of things, but probably what we'll ultimately do is upgrade those to upgrade them to be larger chests. We got rewards for that as well. I'm not going to get into that. We've already done so much today on it. So, what are we doing today? As I mentioned, extended crafting. We're doing some more around extended crafting. I've already done a little bit of prep work around getting things together for this episode because I knew it would be a little bit of work to get some stuff up and going. I did get most of our greenhouse together. On a side note, we have all of our greenhouse glass up there and it's ready to go. I just need to finalize crafting up another farmer so we can put it on this side. I just haven't gotten around to it yet. I need to make another iron casing, which just takes a lot of time to do, a lot of resources. So I was like, I'm just going to hold off on it for the time being and not necessarily get into it just yet. So instead, what I wanted to do was go off of a suggestion from someone in the community. But you know what? I probably should actually give this person credit for what they had commented, because it was a good idea. Unfortunately, I believe in this mod pack it's actually disabled. So, oh, I'm gonna mispronounce his name, which is kind of a unfortunate thing. So I'm sorry, guy. He had left it on our last episode. Elrudos Welt. I'm sorry, dude. I'm trying my best. I do appreciate the comment, though. He left a good comment around doing some sifting with our sieve and getting an auto sifter up and going. Now, he did mention enchanting our mesh for our sifter. We've already done that. We actually have some enchants on there that help us out. And basically, he was commenting on that because we were trying to get prismarine, and a good way to get it is from a sieve. But now, obviously, you have a low chance to get it from sifting, and obviously, it's a manual process right now. Well, he had recommended getting some mechanical users, I believe they are called. Yep, so mechanical users from extra utilities, just like so, super easy to craft up. And I actually think I still have mine in here, so I can show you what the interface looks like. So these bad boys are pretty cool. Now, he said to use 2 of them, so maybe I'm mistaken on how he sets them up. You'll have to let me know in another comment, my guy, if I'm just setting it up wrong. But basically, the way that this will work for us, for what we're trying to do, is we would place it here, and we can go in here and we can set it up to basically place items or interact with the block next to it. So for us, really what we would want to do is activate the block with the item, and we would want to use the upper left slot. Now, you don't necessarily have to use that slot. You could use pretty much any, you could have it do a random slot, but I would recommend having it set to that. Now, the idea behind this is that you could take a compressed item, like compressed sand, and throw it in there, and it would place into there. Now, unfortunately, it is, it's not working the way that I would like it to. And let's see, do we have a lever? Can we get a lever? I did want to try one last thing. If we pulsated this, yeah, I don't think it's gonna work the way I want it to. Yeah. So, and he had recommended, he or she, I'm guessing it's a he, recommended that you use 2 of them, and there's some way that you can set it up to basically automate this. I could not figure it out. When I went online to look it up myself, a lot of the forums for different mod packs said that there's a way that they can disable that being used in this sense within the configuration. So Kevin probably disabled it, I would assume, because it doesn't seem to want to work for us. But again, I might be doing it wrong, but I'm going to go out on a limb and say it's disabled. That's what I am just going to guess. It seems like the most logical thing is that it would just be disabled because it is a expert pack. So anyway, the real way that you're actually supposed to go about this is getting an auto sieve up and going. So there's 2 different versions of auto sieves. There's a heavy one and a normal one. It's actually kind of interesting because from looking at it, they pretty much have the same recipe, except that this one is going to use a plank, and then the heavy sieve is going to use logs. Pretty interesting to do, but as you can see, we need to have advanced crafting through extended crafting. And in order to get that, we need to craft up this special advanced crafting table. Now you look at this and it looks a little bit complicated, probably something that you're not used to seeing. I was definitely not used to seeing it. But we can come into our progression here and I can show you what we have to do. So you start off with a basic crafting table, or I guess you should be to the point where we're at now. You get your guide, you have some black iron ingots, you get some luminescence, which we have. I was crafting it up earlier. If you're curious on how you make luminescence, I could show you really quickly. You do need to have Thaumcraft up and going. You have to have 2 of the Lux, and you have to throw in a glowstone ingot, which you can get through osmium compression using glowstone and an osmium ingot. So pretty straightforward that. We don't need it on us, so I'm going to stick it away for the time being. So yes, you should have this stuff. If you don't have this stuff, you have to have it first. Really, before you can go into this crafting, you have to have it first. So then we get a basic crafting table. Now I'm going to collect the rewards from it. I'm actually going to stick this away for the time being. Oh, we can't stick it away. That's fine. So you might be wondering how we craft up the basic crafting tables. Well, it's just like so, pretty straightforward. 2 crafting tables, a block of iron, nothing special there. But it gets down to these catalysts and components and a black iron slate that gets a little bit more tricky. So these black iron slates are just black iron ingots. Again, I mentioned it earlier, you're going to want to have these up and going. You're going to want to have a lot of them. It's actually a really easy recipe. All you need is a bunch of iron and then some kind of black dye. So that could be ink sacs, floral black powder. As you can see, it runs through the whole list. Now for me, I utilized, let's see if it'll roundabout to it here, black artificial dye. And you can get this through a dye mixer. And you need a few more components for it. And I did it in an earlier episode where I showed how you can get it. But being that we are in an ocean setting, you could easily go out, get some squid ink, and be fine. So, with that, with those black iron ingots, you can craft up everything else. And all of these are pretty straightforward. You just can click through and figure out what you need. The basic components then interact with this one, and you get this output as well. So really you need, what? So 4 of those. So 4 there. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. You'll need 9 of these black iron slates per, so 18 total just for these 2 crafting tables that you'll have to get for the progression. 9 for one of them, obviously. And then you'll have to have additional black iron on top of that for the different components and crafting and whatnot, and luminescence. So you can do all the math, you can figure out all the components yourself. So we got those up and going, but we don't need those. Really, we don't need those ones because it's not useful for us right now. What we need is the advanced crafting, which, as you can see, takes more stuff. So you do need the 2. You need a block of gold. You're going to need the same amount of black iron slate, and you pretty much craft it up the same way as the one before, the previous version. But now these basic crafting tables are taking the place of the OG Minecraft crafting tables, and then you're using gold instead of iron in these. So again, pretty straightforward to get. And I've already crafted everything up, so I've talked a lot on it, but I've made it so that we could easily craft it without having to diddle-dally. So now we have that done. We did get a void metal nugget and some moolah, which is awesome. Now there's more tiers that you can go through, like a 7x7 or the ultimate one, which is a 9x9. But, I mean, yeah, we don't need this right now. And you're going to have to get into diamonds for that, and then I'm guessing the last one is emeralds. So that is what it is. So we have now our bigger advanced crafting table. So we can come in here. As you saw, I did move our sieve over there, and I'm going to put this right here for the time being. Now it acts as a normal crafting table, which is cool, because then what we can do is we have our larger, here dog, please hold, where is it? Upstairs, downstairs, downstairs. Get, oh, get wrecked. I had to take care of business there. So since it acts as a normal crafting table, it does have the integration of where we can auto click the items into it. Now, unfortunately, I am missing some cold iron blocks here. I need more, which I was not actually planning for. So in order to get these, realistically, it would have been smarter for us to get into bewitchment to get these. Because as you can see, you get them by taking iron with this bottle of frostfire, which I don't think we have any. Yeah, we don't have any of that. But the way that you get the frostfire is through bewitchment. And you can trade with an alchemist if we were lucky enough to find one. I don't think there's one at the village. Or you make it using a distillery from bewitchment, which don't worry, we are going to get into bewitchment. But for the time being, it was a little bit too much to get into it for what we're doing right now. I think maybe in a next episode or two, we'll get into bewitchment. But for now, we're not. So the other way that you can do this is by buying cold iron nuggets in the shop, and they're not the cheapest, especially considering how many you need in order to get it. So for this, so you need 9 nuggets per ingot. We have 4 blocks, right? 4 blocks, 9 ingots per block, so that's 36 ingots, and then 9 nuggets per those 36, so you need 324 times 50 coins per. That's 16,000 coins you need to get 4 blocks. So overall, you would need 32,400 coins in order to get all of what you need. And as you can see, I had already done that. I just miscalculated, unfortunately. So we're down a certain amount, but I mean, we got plenty of coins, so we could just buy it. I am curious though, if our village does have a alchemist villager there that we could trade with. Unfortunately, our engineering one despawned or died somehow, which is a little bit of a bummer. But I think it would be cool to head over to the village. But before we go there, I'm just adding on to things here. We do have waystones now. So we could get a waystone set up and going depending on what all they need. Wow, okay. We do need quite a bit of items for it to get it going, which is a little bit unfortunate. So what do we need here? That's easy enough to do. All of that's easy enough to do. It's this that is the more crazy thing. We need purple glowstone dust, which we need purple pigment for, which I definitely don't have enough. And we need 4 of those. We need that, and then an endermatic boy there, which we don't have enough of. Okay, so we don't have enough for waystones right now. So unfortunately, we're going to have to wait on that. But I can go over to the village and check out and see if we have alchemists over there. So I'm going to do that, and we'll be right back. All right, I was just about to head out that way, and I remembered from the last time that we went there, the way we originally discovered this village was from a lost tablet from Coral Tombstone. So we should actually be able to quick teleport to this place as long as we have a grave going that has a soul in it, which we do. So these graves are pretty easy to craft up. I think I did this on a stream, so I'll run through it really quickly right now for you. So a simple grave is really easy. You just need some dark marble and then a skull or a head of some mob. The dark marble is just a stone with some grave dust, which you can get from killing mobs, so it's pretty straightforward. You just place it down, and as mobs are defeated around it, it will collect their souls. And then as you see, we have one in there because we have that little animation of that little purple orb floating around. So if we click on this with our tablet here, it collects it, and now we have that enchanted effect on it. We hold down right click button, and it should teleport us to our village, just like so. Way easier than traveling all the way out here. But you just need to remember to hold on to it then, and place it down when you get back. You don't want to lose it. So let's look around here. Do we have... We're going to collect all of this stuff, which is a little bit annoying. We do have a villager from Extra Utilities, which is kind of interesting. But we're not looking for you. We're looking for an alchemist, which might be a little bit tricky considering I'm sure that some of these guys have already died, which is a bummer. Whoa, I didn't realize that this stuff was here. This is cool. Okay, I did not know. So all of this stuff is from our fossils and archaeology. What is that? A red figure. And then we got those. Oh, wow. Okay. And then there's a whole like little thing in the back, and we got, wow, okay, there's so much stuff here. I didn't even realize that. Well, there you go. There's another tip. If you are getting into fossils and archaeology, definitely look for a village, because you could find some more stuff at the village. You're not going to be helpful. Is there anyone left in here, or did you guys all just kind of jump ship? I think I tried to save some in here. There's that guy, the red mechanic. It's not looking like we're gonna find what we need in here. Alchemist, yes. So it's just a chance that he would have it, but I'm gonna grab him because he could be worth it. What do you guys have? Anything useful? You trading for anything useful? Ooh, this farmer actually could be extremely useful, but I don't think I have another way to get another mob imprisonment tool, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, we don't, unfortunately. Gas tier, can we like easily get one? No, we can't buy one either. The only other thing we have is our dinosaur here. I'm gonna leave him here. He'll be fine. Alright, let's head home. But that villager could be extremely useful because he has a good trade that would allow us to get a lot of emeralds. That's kind of why I want to bring him back. Alright, so this should be our alchemicalist. Get that put away there. And we kind of just got to trade to see if we can get that from him, if I'm not mistaken. Right? The frostfire. That doesn't look like the same alchemist. It definitely doesn't look like the same kind of alchemist that would be giving us this at a level 3, though. I mean, we could try. Let's try it out. Okay, let's get some emeralds. And this is the thing. I don't really have many emeralds. What can we cheaply trade for? This first one. That's all we can get. Okay. Yeah, I have a feeling this isn't going to work the way that we want it to. Alright, let me try it out. Alright, guys. So, as you can see in front of us, we have a different alchemist villager. One that has, like, the white eye, or, like, the gray eye. So, I kind of realized, well, for one, the other one that we had was not the right one. And then on top of that, I realized that what we could do is we can actually take these guys, a villager, in a mob imprisonment tool, throw them in our mob duplicator until we get the villager that we want, because it'll continuously spawn villagers, and there's always a chance that it would spawn different types. So we could get the engineer, we could get a archaeologist, we could get this guy, so on and so forth. And it just took a little bit of tinkering until we actually got this guy specifically. So let's get a good shot of him here. So I've gotten him up to level 3, which is what we needed to get the bottle of frostfire, which is not cheap at all. But we do now have the bottle of frostfire, which we can utilize on those items, on like iron and stuff like that. So let's see here. Can we use it on like a block, or does it have to be, it can be used on the chunks. It can't be used on the actual ingots themselves. So if we have iron ore, which we should have over here, we should be able to get it up and going. Worst case, if we don't, I will just spend all the money, or if this doesn't work right, I'll just spend the money that we need to spend. So I don't need that many. So let's see how this works. I don't know if it's like that, if I have to throw it down. I might have to throw it down for it to actually work. We'll test it out. Again, guys, I'm new to this, so I don't really know offhand how we have to do it. So first and foremost, let's take our ring of magnetization off. Just to be safe, I just don't want it anything to happen. Let's throw all of this iron ore down. And then, this isn't a splash potion, is it? It's not. Oh, okay, there we go. Okay, we had to place it down. Quickly. Don't know how long it'll last. There we go. Throwing it in there, and it is now cooking up all of that iron into the cold, what is it? The cold iron ingot. And I don't know how long that lasts for, but I mean, we threw 38 in there, which is going to be, it should be plenty. That should be plenty of what we need. Let's just make sure that we're picking these up as it goes. Midsummer night has been done. And again, I don't know how long it lasts for. It doesn't look like it spreads. It doesn't harm us. So, I mean, hey, I am perfectly fine with it. And that's going to give us the 4 more blocks that we needed, which is cool. I'm going to leave it there. No reason to move it. I honestly thought it was a one and done, but maybe it lasts quite a bit longer than I expected. So we have everything we need. Let's get this done. This has been a long episode, so just like so, we have an auto heavy sieve, which is so cool. Let's not break it. Let's put it over here and see what we need to do with it. So I'm actually going to place it on top of this boy, just like so. And we're going to see what we need for it. So we do need to put a mesh in it. So let's grab a mesh. We'll throw our mesh in there. We're going to get rid of this below it. And then what we should be able to do is really just automate it. I mean, have an item, have it come in. This guy will go through it. It does need some power. Let's see. Do we have a wireless boy hanging out here? We do. Should be able to put right up there. We did get a progression for that. Under, not under Thaumcraft, under, did we not? Oh, maybe it's farther down the line. Oh, I think it's farther down the line in extra utilities. We do need another part of that. We need the wireless battery completed, which we don't have yet. So what we should be able to do is get some item conduits going from Ender.io because they are amazing. And what we're going to do is just like so. So I'm going to place, do we want it up that high though? We could move it down one. Yeah, let's move it down one. Okay, place this here. I'll place the sieve in there. Should be getting power. Yep, there we go, just took a second. Then we're gonna place these like so behind. This is going to be extract and insert. We're going to have insert on brown. And then we just need 2 chests for the time being, just to demonstrate how this is going to work. So we should have some chests hanging out here. Grab 2 of these boys. And then that's going to be, what did we have here? Extract on that. So this is going to be insert on that, and then this is going to be extract on brown, just like so. And then what we can do is if we go into here, and we'll just do sand for the time being because we have a decent amount of it. I'm just going to grab a whole bunch of it like so, put our item conduits away. So this is extracting and inserting. So if we throw this compressed sand in there, it's going to be taken out, and as you can see, our auto sieve is now going to do the work for us. So once it's done, it should extract everything over into our chest, just like that. Perfect. That is a super, super simple way to get up and going an auto sieve. Well, simple way, I guess. I guess you could say it's simple. We'll find a screenshot in there to use for our thumbnail. But on top of that, I know we're running long here on the episode, but there was another item that I did want to do if I could spell, but we're going to have to save it because it's a lot of resources once again to get that up and going, which is an auto hammer. I think we could do an auto hammer. Yeah, it's actually not that bad to get an auto hammer, or an auto compressed hammer is different as well. I don't think I have anything in my inventory for it. Yeah, I don't. But basically, if we wanted to use more gravel, let's say, what we could do is we can easily get gravel from cobblestone. So we could take normal cobblestone, put it through the auto hammer and get gravel out of it, and then throw it through like an auto compressor, and we could get compressed gravel, which then could be looped into here, and we could get a whole production up and going. Now that's going to stop, as you can see, because we ran out of the compressed sand. But there we go, guys. We have our auto compressor, or not auto compressor, our auto sieve up and going. And we're going to work even harder to get everything else up and running because it's going to be perfect. I think ultimately what I will do is I'll like have it set up, and I actually might set it up over here instead, and then try to hook it into our system here so that we can have everything kind of just looped in right over here. I mean, easily enough, we could just loop it right into the drawer controller, which would make it a lot easier, and then have it all kind of bulk up within there. Now, if we had auto crafting and so on and so forth, it could make it a little bit nicer, but it is what it is for the time being. So guys, with that being said, we're going to wrap up the episode there. A little bit longer than normal, but it is what it is. I hope you all did enjoy it. If you did, feel free to leave a like down below, or better yet, leave me a comment. Let me know what you're thinking on this series. Let me know what you'd like to see. I do love seeing all the support that you guys have been sending my way. I do want to call out one other person though as well, because they left a really nice comment. I do really appreciate it. So Stefan Blansky. You got the ski, man. I'm a ski as well. My last name ends with a ski, with an I. But anyway, he left a really nice comment on the last episode, and I really appreciate it. Again, through everything that we've been doing, I am out here just having fun, and I'm glad that you guys are having fun and enjoying the content that I'm putting out as well. So I do really appreciate it. I do stream over on Twitch as well. I do want to mention that. I have it linked down below, along with the Discord, if you want to join up and hang out with us people in the community. So with that being said, I will catch you all in the next one. Take it easy.